The atmosphere following the Liverpool match was electric, with fans and players alike buzzing after a brilliant performance. But as days passed, the reality of United's current position began to set in. Yes, the win was great, but it was still only 3 points from a possible 9. The result would mean very little if it wasn't followed up by another good performance against Southampton. But before the game could begin, there were still transfers to sift through. United would see a departure from a fan favourite from the club, 28-year-old centre-back Eric Bailly. Although it was a loan with a buy option, obligatory if Marseille qualified for the Champions League, Bailly's farewell message to United fans certainly made the move seem more permanent than not. Injuries had really hampered what could have been a promising career for Bailly at United. All the best, Eric. Next was news about Antony. The Antony transfer saga was heating up all week. While both United and Antony were clearly keen on a transfer, with the new Ajax manager quick to deny reports of Antony leaving, the story was still largely media-led. Then, the lid would be blown wide open in a shocking moment when Antony released an exclusive interview with Fabrizio Romano. This interview not only confirmed United's concrete interest, but also Antony's overwhelming desire to join the club. There was absolutely no going back now, and the end seemed nearer than ever. After De Gea's shocking performance against Brentford in matchday 2, and Dean Henderson having left on loan earlier in the season to Nottingham Forest, United were in for a second goalkeeper. Yes, Tom Heaton was already at the club, but the 36-year-old wasn't providing the genuine competition to De Gea that Ten Hag was looking for. The first link was the 32-year-old Eintracht Frankfurt keeper, Kevin Trapp. Trapp was a very highly rated keeper, and much better than De Gea with his feet, but the transfer would cost more than United had budgeted for, and talks were soon called off. Next was the link with 33-year-old Newcastle keeper, Martin Dubravka. Dubravka had been a mainstay in Newcastle's goal over the last several years, before being displaced by Nick Pope, who was signed from Burnley this summer. While not as adept with his feet as Trapp, the proven Premier League quality keeper would certainly propose a concrete challenge for De Gea. With Casemiro now through the door, and a proposed €100 million move on the table for Antony, this was surely the end of the chase for Ten Hag's number 1 transfer target, links with whom sprang completely out of the blue as early as the end of May. So long, De Jong. Come match day, these were the starting 11s for both teams. After a fantastic display against Liverpool, Ten Hag chose to keep the winning 11 together for this match. This meant Ronaldo and Maguire were on the bench once again. Fans were eager to see Casemiro from the start, but without a full 90 minutes in his legs yet this season, Ten Hag thought it best to keep him on the bench. Southampton's lineup was slightly different to what we've been used to in previous years. The 4-4-2 system had been a mainstay for Hasenhüttl, but they had started the season with a different shape. They had also added a lot of youth to their personnel, namely new signees 18-year-old Lavia, 20-year-old Bella Kotchap, and 20-year-old keeper Bazunu. On the day, there were also concerns about the pitch, as the surface was left very patchy after a disease had gone through the grass. How would Ten Hag's team fare in a different sort of challenge to Liverpool? Southampton started the game with a man-to-man press like many teams had done already this season. With no options, Martinez is forced to clear early. With possession at the back, even with United not pressing aggressively to start, the strategy was obviously to boot it long to let Che Adams duel against Martinez. Spoiler alert, Martinez wouldn't be so compliant. This was how United's front men lined up. It was the opposite of Liverpool, with Sancho now on the left and Elanga on the right, with Rashford still up front. Perhaps Ten Hag was already planning for the arrival of Antony on the right wing. There would be a nervy moment early from a Southampton counter-attack, as Ward-Prowse plays it wide for Walker-Peters. He storms down the pitch before playing in Elyounoussi. Malacia does well and is able to win the ball back, dummying Elyounoussi in the process. But he and Eriksen are on different wavelengths, as Eriksen leaves the pass meant for him, and it lands at Aribo's feet. He dances past McTominay, but Varane is there to block the cross, which ricochets off the Southampton man for a goal kick. United's first chance would come on the counter as well. From a long throw, Southampton find themselves with a shooting opportunity on the edge of the box, which Martinez blocks. The ball lands at Sancho's feet and he's off to the races. Ward-Prowse does well to recover, but Sancho's quick feet leaves him in the dust. Elanga's run leaves a massive gap in the middle, but the support is yet to arrive. Sancho is forced to recycle the ball as Southampton get back in shape. United play the ball to the other side from Malacia to McTominay, to Bruno, to Eriksen, finally to Dalot out wide. He skips past one challenge before flashing a ball across, which is unfortunately too high for an unmarked Bruno. Should have been a better cross, but Captain Bruno collapsed the effort. Southampton's young backline defended very well on the day. Eriksen spots Rashford run in behind and plays a lob through a ball. Bella Kotchap gets a crucial touch to it, otherwise Rashford was in. He's straight back up as Sancho gathers a loose ball and tries to lob it over, and is able to outmuscle him to regain possession. Impressive for the 20-year-old. United's best chance of the half would come in the 19th minute. Malacia plays the ball up the pitch to Rashford, who had drifted left. He surveys the pitch before playing a nice ball across to an oncoming Dalot. He plays it wide to Elanga, who gives it back to him in plenty of room. He crosses the ball in as Bruno is on the blind side of Bella Kotchap. He leaps to make the first contact, but Walker Peters comes flying in late to make a brilliant block. Elanga is alert and is there to get the shot off, which is saved by Bazunu. Elanga is there again to chip the ball back into the middle. Bruno is there to volley it, but Walker Peters yet again makes the crucial block. Eriksson arrives late to surely finish off the frantic chance, only for it to be blocked yet again. 1, 2, 3, 4 goes at it. How the heck was it still 0-0? Southampton were intent on using the wide areas to attack United throughout the match. On transition, Walker Peters swings in a delivery, but Martinez is there to head it away. On the ensuing corner, Adams is left completely unmarked at the front post to flick it on. The ball falls to Bella Kotchap, who is also unmarked at the far post. He lunges to shoot, but luckily the ball scars over the bar. Dangerous. United would try a little more each game to play out from the back. Martinez receives the ball from Varane as Adams is quick to close down. Completely unbothered, Martinez teasingly takes the ball out of Adams' reach, before nonchalantly bringing it forward. But it's pressured from behind as he releases the long ball, and Southampton are able to win it back and start a counter. Lavia finds a streaking Armstrong, who carries the ball up the pitch before playing in a nice ball towards Adams. Martinez tries to make the challenge, but Adams is too strong. He pivots and hits the ball on the turn, but De Gea is able to calmly collect. Southampton could rarely find joy playing through United, but their best chance of the half would come from the one time they did. Walker Peters carries the ball up the pitch and finds Elyounoussi. He's able to turn away from Eriksson before playing a lovely reverse pass to Adams, making the run across Varane. Martinez misjudges it, expecting De Gea to come and collect. Adams swivels and gets off a shot in a dangerous area, but the contact isn't clean and De Gea is able to calmly collect once again. A nervy moment indeed. Half-time stats would read like this. A fairly even affair. United were up in possession, but the shots and shots on target were very close between the teams, with the majority of United's coming from the flurry of chances in the 19th minute. Ten Hag would go into the second half with no substitutions. United started the second half off brightly. Dalot plays the ball off the pitch to Rashford, who shields the ball well and plays one touch to Elanga as McTominay makes the run from midfield. Elanga chips the ball into the box. McTominay is able to get the shot off, but Bazunu makes a comfortable save. Another chance would come again down the right side. Dalot plays to Elanga, who's situated as wide as one can get on the touchline. He plays a nice 1-2 with Rashford. He lays it off to Bruno before making a darting run into the box. Bruno plays a brilliant first touch reversible back to him. Elanga is seemingly 1v1 with the keeper, but takes one too many touches and Bella Kotchap is able to get back in to prevent a shot. A huge chance. On their third go-round, United would finally get what they'd been searching for, again down the right side. Varane dribbles up to engage the Southampton defender before laying it off to Elanga hugging the touchline once again. He dribbles into the large space in front of him as the Southampton players scramble to get back. United's fluid movement had Southampton's man marking disorganised. Rashford took up Sancho's position as he occupied the fullback on the left wing. Sancho replaced Rashford in the middle and engaged Salisu, which left Bella Kotchap in between two minds as he had to choose whether to stay with Bruno or close the space to Sancho. Elanga is able to slot the ball into Sancho's feet, who is able to find Dalot in acres of space as Genepo is sucked too far infield. He plays a first-time ball into the edge of the box as Rashford and Elanga's runs drag the Southampton defence towards goal. This leaves Bruno by himself to fire, and he clearly slots it into the bottom left-hand corner. Captain Fantastic. United 1, Southampton 0. A vintage Ten Hag sort of move. In the 60th minute, there was a penalty shout for Southampton. As Adams goes to receive the ball into the box, McTominay comes to close the space. The ball does clearly strike McTominay's arm not once, but twice, before also striking Adams' arm as he appeals. The referee would deem it an accidental contact, the VAR would agree, and the game would continue. As the match wore on, Southampton were getting some joy on the left-hand side. Armstrong receives the ball and charges downfield. He's momentarily held up by Dalot, but manages to wriggle free and get in a dangerous ball. Aribo is able to cut in front of Varane and gets a strong head on it, but De Gea is equal to it and makes a brilliant reaction save. Walker Peters is there for the follow-up header, which harmlessly sails over the bar. They were getting closer, Southampton. Ten Hag would make his first substitution in the 67th minute as Ronaldo came on for Sancho. The game would drift on with Southampton dominating possession, before Ten Hag made his second substitution in the 80th minute, bringing on Casemiro for his long-awaited debut. Ronaldo's only real involvement in the game came on the counter. Bruno intercepts a pass in midfield, then plays the ball up to Ronaldo, who flicks it on cleverly towards Eriksson. Eriksson tries to find Rashford on the left wing, but the ball bounces off the Southampton defender into Ronaldo's path. Ronaldo takes a big touch forward as he steams towards goal, but at 37, his pace isn't what it used to be, and Salisu is able to recover to get back in front. A real human moment for Ronaldo. Had time finally caught up with him. Casemiro's first involvement wasn't entirely smooth either. Bella-Kotchap receives the ball surrounded by 3 United players. He wriggles free as Casemiro closes the space, but a clever body feint by Bella-Kotchap bamboozles Casemiro. He manages to get off a shot, which sails over the bar. Welcome to the Premier League, Casa. He'd certainly grow into the game though, getting in blocks and winning headers. Southampton pushed admirably until the end, getting off overhead kicks and volleys, but the match would eventually end 1-0. Full-time stats would read like this. Possession stats finished even, and Southampton well and truly grew into the game in the second half. Southampton gave United all they could handle physically, as they were forced to commit 10 more fouls and receive 3 more yellow cards than the Saints. They also finished the match with more attempts on target than United, but many were speculative efforts at best, and United's defence held strong. A job well done on a disease-ridden pitch under a warm summer sun away at Southampton. It wasn't pretty, but considering United's abysmal away form leading back to last season, a goal, let alone a win, was sorely needed. 3 points was 3 points, and 6 points from 4 matches certainly sounded better than 0 from 2. Martinez put in yet another man of the match display, and was quickly silencing his critics, as Ten Hag's new first choice back four settled into shape. Dalot provided his first assist of the season in a positive attacking performance, as Bruno got his season goal tally underway with a brilliant finish. Eriksen and McTominay put in a shift in midfield, and Casemiro's cameo gave fans a taste of what was to come. United's attacking front didn't have too much joy on the day, but continued to show an improved work ethic and fluid movement. The next match would be against Leicester, the first in a series of mid-week fixtures, as it marked a season in full swing. Not only that, the match day would coincide with the final day of the transfer window, with so many lingering questions. The cloud over Ronaldo's future was ever present, with reports of his agent still looking for solutions, and Ten Hag fielding inquiry after inquiry in every interaction with the press. Antony versus Ajax, a battle seemingly between an unstoppable force and an immovable object, was set for a photo finish. How would this drama-filled transfer window conclude? Will the Glazers afford Ten Hag a viable squad to challenge for the top 4 in Europa League? Would United continue the positive momentum against the struggling Leicester side? Join me here for Chapter 5 of Manchester United's season. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the Southampton game down below.